Nothing surprises me anymore when I find out what pesticides are in the foods that we eat, but I still get pissed when I find out about a new one like Chlormequat. EWG's toxicologists were testing oat-based foods for an entirely different pesticide, glyphosate.
We've been testing oat-based products for pesticides since 2018, and our 2022 samples, we decided to look for a new pesticide. We looked for Chlormequat. We found it in every single product except one. I think we were all pretty shocked.
Chlormequat is a pretty toxic crop chemical that is banned currently in the United States. The reason why Chlormequat can be found in foods sold in this country is because the American food companies buy oats from Canada where Chlormequat is allowed for use.
Chlormequat is a pesticide that farmers use on oats to help them with harvesting.
We get it, that this is beneficial to farmers who are trying to maximize the amount of oats that they get off the field at the end of the year. But we need to push the system so that in doing that, they don't expose us to toxic chemicals.
The data we do have raises some pretty big red flags. Data from animal studies show doses lower than what EPA currently says are safe could actually cause serious health effects. That means impacting development and fetal growth and harming reproduction later in life. And those are all really concerning aspects for potential impacts on human health.
If this decision by EPA is allowed to go through, we could have a chemical that deforms animal embryos in the U.S. food supply within a matter of months. That's why it's important to submit your comments to the agency and tell them not to allow this toxic chemical in the U.S. food supply. If we're successful, then millions of kids in this country will dramatically reduce their exposures.
Before this gets out of control, why not stop it now?
EWG's research on pesticides has always been about letting people know what they can be exposed to through the foods that they're eating.
When I first heard my colleagues tell me they found Chlormequat in the foods that they had tested, I said, "What's Chlormequat?"
Chlormequat is a new chemical in the U.S. food supply. It is used primarily on grain crops like oats and wheat. Once we learned that the EPA had essentially started allowing Chlormequat on oat-based products that were being imported into the US, we decided to test them. And when we tested those products, we found Chlormequat in over 90% of those samples. That was samples like cereals, breakfast bars, snack bars, really common foods that people are eating every day.
EWG's toxicologists looked at the chemistry of this particular chemical and were alarmed.
Chlormequat causes really concerning health effects in animal studies. It harms the reproductive system and it can disrupt fetal growth. And that gives us concern for how this chemical might also impact human health. Once we knew it was really prevalent in the food supply, the next question was, well, can you measure it in people? This is the first study of Chlormequat exposure in the US population. Our study is published in the peer-reviewed journal called Journal of Exposure Science and Environmental Epidemiology. We tested the urine of about 96 different people. I mean, we expected to find a little bit of Chlormequat, or maybe some people would have detections, but the fact that 4 out of 5, 77 of the 96 people, had exposure to Chlormequat was really astonishing, especially because this is a pretty new chemical to Americans.
The average American probably believes that the EPA is solely in the business of protecting them and their families from contaminants, including pesticides in the foods. But the opposite is actually true.
We need the EPA to protect children's health and use the best available science and data to do that.
What exactly is in those Cheerios you and your kids are munching on? According to a new study, there's likely a little-known pesticide called Chlormequat that's been linked to reproductive and developmental problems in animal studies.
All my children are older, so, when they have kids, Cheerios was the go-to. So at this point, maybe it's something, we might go to something else.
According to the study published in a scientific journal this month, researchers looked at urine samples from nearly 100 people here in the United States and found the pesticide in 80% of them. Scientists also discovered the chemical in 92% of oat-based foods purchased last May, including Quaker Oats and Cheerios.
It seems to have, at least hormone effects on male reproduction, fetal development, and things like that. It is cleared quickly from the body, but what's scary when you do the takeaway from the studies is that the levels seem consistently high when they test people in these different groups, which means the exposure is constant. It's not like you're getting a hit and then you clear it and it goes away.
According to federal regulations, Chlormequat is not allowed to be used on foods grown here in the United States, but it is used in other countries, and some of those foods are imported and sold here.
The EPA is considering allowing this chemical to be used on domestically grown wheat, barley, and oats. That is a bad idea. It's bad for our health, bad for the public, and we are hoping it gets denied.
We reached out to Quaker Oats and General Mills for a response to the study's findings. We didn't hear back from Quaker Oats, but a spokesperson for General Mills told us, quote, all products adhere to all regulatory requirements. Food safety is always our top priority at General Mills, and we take care to ensure our food is prepared and packaged in the safest way possible. For Newsday TV, I'm Shari Einhorn.
Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. In the beginning of this video, there's or I'll put a clip when the video starts is, Lord willing, there's a couple of videos going into Chlormequat, and it's a pesticide and a growth inhibitor that's used in wheat, oats, and different products that are imported here, and it causes several different health problems, from nervous system problems to problems in pregnancy to reproductive problems in males, and it's in the study, it was found in the majority of people that they tested. And just to get into the scriptures, this is Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So from these different studies that come out to what we're eating, to what we watch, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, everything that we do here, whether it's here in Babylon the Great or around the world, we're defiling ourselves. And this madman Esau Edom, the so-called white man that's in charge of the whole world, he doesn't care about anything. He doesn't even care about himself, because he has to eat this the same food. He has to drink the water. He has to breathe the same air. He's exposed to the same things, but this man doesn't care about anything. But also learning about these different concoctions this madman has come up with, it increases your sorrow, because it's like, man, how long can this keep going? Because eventually, you gotta eat, you gotta drink water, you gotta breathe. And the way this madman looks, damn, this man's trying to kill. How long is he gonna last? The life cannot continue. Life cannot continue with this man in the driver's seat. And we need our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai to come and save us, to save the earth, to save his elect. So this is Ezekiel chapter 3. I'm sorry, not Ezekiel chapter 3. This is Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 13. And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. And the Israelites have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. We're in every nation, looking like every people. Here in Babylon the Great, America, we're primarily known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But being that we've been scattered into every nation, we're amongst Moab, we're amongst Edom, we're amongst, which Moab being the so-called Chinese, we're amongst the Japanese people, we're amongst, all nations, the Indians, the East Indians, we're scattered amongst all these people, but we're having to eat this defiled bread. Our food is defiled, whether it be defiled because the food is mixed with pork, you're eating unclean things without knowing it. The FDA has different, what do you call that? Like their quality control. They can allow different bug bits, different spider bits, different kinds of mold, a percentage of mold in your food. So you're eating moldy food. You're eating, unclean animals. You have no idea what you're eating here. Unclean chemicals, or chemicals in the food, or you know, uh, shutting down different parts of your body. Giving you different ailments. Causing cancer. All these different things, but what can you do? You have to eat your bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. And let me get this word defiled. This is H2931 Tama'ah. Says foul in a religious sense, defiled, polluted, unclean. And here in this the outline, it has ethically unclean. So let me get that word ethics in the online etymology, or the etym online. This is pertaining to morality, and that don't really help. Oh, here we go. The study of morals, ethics, moral philosophy, which, here, let me go find another one. This is morals, or moral, in the etym online. It says associating with or characterized by right behavior, associated with or concerning conduct or moral principles, which, proper behavior of a person in society pertaining to manners. And these aren't good manners. All the food is defiled. You're making it to where, you know, people can no longer have kids, no longer have children. You say you're a God-fearing society, but everything that you do is against the Lord, against his children, against his people. You know, the right behavior. You're feeding people scraps, and then on top of the scraps it's poisonous. I think there was a study that the placenta from a woman now has microplastics in it, and this is from everybody tested. Like, everybody has microplastics in them. Like, come on, man. This is Proverbs 4:16. If Esau eat him, because this isn't by accident. This isn't by chance. This man is a madman. He. Well, let me go ahead and read Proverbs 4:16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. And this man, he has different studies, like this Chlormequat. They have done studies over years on the effects that this has on animals. Lord willing, I'll include some of the different websites that I read about this, and they said that, for one, they were testing it on pigs, and the pigs where it had a dose that's 20 times lower than what they're putting in the food right now. And at that 20 times lower dosage, it was still causing problems. But, they say it's safe for us to eat, you know. But, this man, he's a mad scientist. He cannot sleep. They're working round the clock how to either turn you into a mole, how to cause cancer, how to find some new way to kill you, how to get you into being a transhuman. I mean, actual transhumanism, not the alphabet, but that too. They're figuring out different ways how to do this, how to mess with your hormones, how to do this and that, how to destroy people from all to earth. And it's not in him to do right. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 38 and verse 4. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. And the food that comes out of the earth, the herbs, the different plants. These were put here to help us, to heal us. Like in Daniel, when they ate pulse, which was vegetables, they come out looking better than all the other king's servants. The earth is supposed to be beneficial towards us, but at this point in time, like it's not with this man Esau Edom in charge. Everything is turned upside down. Everything is defiled. Hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. And I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to 144,000 rest of your elect. Shalom.